It's irreversible. We all gotta face the music. Sex deteriorates with age. I got news for you. That's a myth. So stop believing it because it's not true. These guys and all of you are capable of being fully functional sexual beings well into your golden years.
All right then.
It's about honoring your endocrine system. It's a series of glands inside your body that produce hormones that help trillions of cells in your body regulate your body processes. If your body processes are working efficiently, your sex life is firing on all cylinders. Wicked. Let's talk about 6 hormones in your body that all have an impact on your libido.
Your what? Your sex drive. What else?
Part of the human experience is feeling pain. It's inevitable. But enduring pain makes us all stronger. And it makes us appreciate the fleeting feelings of happiness and that sense of well-being. The trouble is, so many people, at the first sign of pain, pop those feel-good pills. Tanner?
What?
We must lean into our pain and endure it and trust that our hormones are going to kick in and help us out. Let me give you an example. You're running a marathon. Your legs feel like they're going to fall off. Your heart feels like it's going to explode out of your chest. But you keep going because your feel-good hormones are going to kick in. Endorphins. They'll get you to the finish line.
I felt that when I played hockey.
Christ, 20 years ago. It ain't too late to get back into it, Noah. Another example. Back in the day, you're hunting to provide food for your family. It's the middle of winter. You're cold, you're tired, you're hungry. It seems hopeless. But the endorphins kick in, and you keep going till you get your prey and bring it home to your family. You're a hero.
I could see myself doing that.
Hunting's an awesome way to get your food. You're getting these animals in their natural environment. They're eating their natural diet. They're not pumped up with antibiotics and hormones. And you're getting physical exercise. By the way, physical activity is not the only way to get your endorphins. Laughing, believe it or not, lowers the stress levels, makes you feel good. Tanner, you gotta laugh more.
I'm a school teacher. There ain't nothing to laugh at with the kids these days.
Try fake laughing or just smiling. The brain doesn't recognize the difference between faking it and the real thing. You're still gonna get that release of the hormones, which make you feel good. And when you're feeling good, it's only gonna help your mojo. As humans, we need to constantly grow and adapt to the ever-changing world around us. When we do, we feel a sense of accomplishment. And in order to accomplish great things, we need to set goals for ourselves. Noah?
I got goals. Yeah, saving up for a bigger TV.
As we get closer and closer to the goals we set, our body releases more and more of another of our hormones, dopamine. Dopamine is at its highest right before we reach our goals. You ever been playing a video game and you're about to get to the next level? Dopamine. Yeah, when I wrote my first song and sang it on the stage for the first time, I felt that, what he's talking about. It's like better than sex even. Almost. I'd like to hear that song. You know, a lot of people will cheat to get that shot of dopamine, to overindulge in things like alcohol, sugar, gambling, cell phones, women. Good one. All of these things, though, can lead to addiction. To reap the full rewards of dopamine, our goals are selfless, and they're serving the greater good of others. Makes sense. Hopefully, we've all got goals, and we're driven to accomplish those goals through intrinsic motivation. That's motivation from within, rather than extrinsic motivation, which is to please others. That being said, I'd be lying if I didn't say getting validation from others is great. It actually releases another of our hormones, serotonin, especially when we get it from coaches, mentors, parents, teachers. And then we have ceremonies, whether they're for awards or weddings, graduations, and it feels good when we accomplish something and can share it with others who we think highly of.
I didn't graduate high school. Never got no awards. My marriage ceremony wasn't a celebration.
Noah, did you ever consider that a lack of ambition and goal setting could negatively impact your sex drive? Let's get into our next hormone, oxytocin. The release of this one will definitely improve your sex life.
What's oxytocin?
It's the feel-good hormone. We release it when we shake hands with others, when we collaborate on a project, spend time with friends, hug, have sex.
Ain't gonna work with me. I'm surrounded by kids all day.
It works with kids too. It doesn't have to be sexual.
All right.
Now, we can't talk about sex without talking about the 2 primary sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen. Now, testosterone is higher in males, and it's responsible for a lot of your sexual functions. You don't want to have to rely on pills to boost your testosterone, Tanner. Testosterone in females is a factor in sexual function and drive, but not to the same extent it is with the males.
What about estrogen?
Estrogen also plays a part in sexual desire for women. And of course, it's one of the key hormones when a woman is pregnant.
Do I have estrogen?
Yeah, all men have estrogen, but you don't want it to get too high, because that can cause infertility issues, ED, even man boobs.
My uncle had those.
Certain medications like antibiotics can cause it. Being overweight or obese can cause higher estrogen levels. It can be passed down in the gene pool.
That sucks.
Do you know that one of the most common factors negatively impacting our hormones these days is stress? We all know by now, if we don't learn to manage our day-to-day stress, it's going to take its toll. It rises our cortisol levels, which affects our thyroid. It impedes the function of our testosterone and estrogen, because all your blood is being diverted to your brain, your heart, your working skeletal muscles, and away from your sexual organs. That's why a lot of people have sexual dysfunction. If you're constantly stressed, your cortisol's up. That causes your DHEA to go down. Your DHEA is another hormone produced by your adrenal gland. It helps your sexual function, helps your athletic performance, helps you not age as rapidly, and helps with osteoporosis.
Now you're getting too sciencey.
If your cortisol cycle is functioning properly, it's at its highest in the morning when you wake up. And a good way to spike it is get some exercise in the morning, a run. I've talked about high intensity interval training, or just a walk. Gradually, as the day goes by, the cortisol levels drop until at the end of the day, in the evening, it's low, where it should be. If it's high, which is the case for many people because they have poor lifestyle habits, poor diet, smoking, drinking, they carry their stress into the night, they can't wind down, and when that's the case, you're not producing your melatonin efficiently at night, and you need that hormone to sleep soundly.
That's why I take my melatonin pills.
Yeah, and when you do that, you overload your body with the hormone, and it disrupts your circadian rhythm. Side effects could be grogginess, nausea, just to name a couple.
Of course.
It's good occasionally. Maybe you got jet lag when you're traveling. Pop a melatonin pill. But that's it, man. You don't want anything that's habit forming. You want your body to work for you. Another negative effect of cortisol, and don't worry, I'll get into the fixes shortly, but it slows down your thyroid. And that causes you to feel tired. You experience hair loss. And you ever get that puffy feeling? It's water retention. It happens a lot, especially women from like 35 to 40. Rosacea, that's when your face gets all red. To take care of your thyroid, you gotta get the right nutrients, like copper, zinc, vitamin D, selenium, iodine.
How the heck are we supposed to do that?
I'll simplify it for you. Just eat a natural, whole food diet with a rainbow color of vegetables. It's really that simple. You get all your minerals and vitamins when you're eating all the food that the earth gives us.
I get all that in my frozen chicken pot pies.
More often than not, packaged frozen goods contain items like hydrogenated palm oil. Those are fats your body can't digest. Preservatives like starch and corn syrup, which is a glucose that negatively impacts your blood sugar levels and your hormone levels too. Ultimately, it's going to disrupt your sex life. Noah, try preparing a nice whole food meal for your wife. You get a burst of serotonin from the validation you get from her. Not to mention dopamine. You'll be flooded with it as you get closer to finishing that meal and presenting it to her. And laugh while you do it. There's your endorphins.
Prepare it with the wife. Get the Oxytocin too.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and not to add fuel to the fire, but in addition to the negative effects of the wrong food ingredients, every day we're exposed to toxins in the air and endocrine disruptors that affects our hormones negatively.
What are endocrine disruptors?
We'll break it down, Tanner. You just learned what the endocrine system is.
Yeah, system of hormones.
Right. And what does it mean to disrupt it?
Easy. They mess with your hormones.
Precisely. Endocrine disruptors are the chemicals we find in the foods we eat and the products we use. That's a topic for a whole nother episode.
How are we supposed to avoid all them chemicals?
It's really quite simple. Eat organic, real food and clean with natural cleaning products. Another crucial factor in hormone function, blood flow. The more plaque you have building up in your arteries, the more it's going to impede your blood flow going to the sexual organs. And of course, that's going to affect your performance. When it gets really bad, there's a name for it, atherosclerosis. Now, to prevent it, cut down on the processed foods and the refined sugars and switch to...
Let me guess. A natural whole food diet.
You guessed it, a natural whole food diet.
Yeah, and take all the joy out of life.
If all your joy didn't come from TV dinners and chicken pot pies, you'd be singing another tune.
Ha! He got put in his place.
I've said it before in the sugar videos. There's a link right there for one of them. When you switch to a natural whole foods diet and get rid of all the refined sugars and processed foods, there's that withdrawal period. It's going to be tough. You're going to crave those things. But when the smoke clears and you've cleared out your system, when you eat real, natural, whole food goodness, it'll be like a symphony in your mouth. You'll have more energy, drive. You'll be setting goals, Noah, and you'll be able to achieve new heights.
You make it sound like real food will make you a superhero.
Either that or a rock star.
I can live with that.
And don't forget, we got to exercise regularly.
I don't do that.
It doesn't have to be heavy weight training, high intensity interval training, or running a 5K. Humans were meant to move. So just get movement throughout your day. Start your day by getting outside. I've talked about that before. During the day, if you're sitting in a cubicle, get up, take a walk around the block. If that's not an option, get up from your desk, do a little dance, maybe some body weight squats. And in the evenings, maybe after a meal, walk around the block. This helps the blood flow and helps you digest. So when you go to sleep, you're not trying to digest the food. That disrupts your sleep.
What about beer and cigarettes? Helps me pass out.
Probably not the best idea. Smoking will impede your blood flow and contribute to atherosclerosis. Our poor parents often took up the habit because they didn't know any better. The research wasn't out. The kids today who do it just haven't quite figured it out. Oh, you want to know a secret weapon for improving blood flow? Especially for athletes who want to take their game to the next level?
You're going to tell us anyway. You might as well do it.
Nitric oxide.
What's that?
It's the main chemical messenger that tells your blood vessels to open up and usher the blood through them.
So what?
Dude, Wyatt, when your blood vessels are dilated, you're going to usher more blood to your number one sexual organ.
All right, I'm listening.
That's what I thought. As we get older, the production of our nitric oxide goes down.
How can we stop that?
Where else? From foods that are high in nitrates, like pomegranates, beets, arugula, leafy green vegetables, spinach, kale, and my favorite, dark chocolate.
I like the milk chocolate better.
Switch to a natural whole food diet, Noah. Overcome those withdrawal symptoms, and trust me, dark chocolate will be just fine for your taste buds. Not to mention it's packed with magnesium. So valuable. About 50% of our population deficient in magnesium. It's responsible for 600 chemical reactions in the body. It helps with energy creation, protein formation, gene expression.
Getting too sciencey again.
I get my magnesium from cocoa nibs, cocoa powder, raw cocoa butter.
I like the sound of cocoa butter.
Yeah, and it's great in shakes. And another thing, take care of your oral hygiene.
Your what?
Your mouth. You want to harvest healthy bacteria within your mouth. Nitric oxide is produced more efficiently from your foods if you got that healthy bacteria. That means getting rid of the mouthwash. When you use mouthwash, you not only kill the bad bacteria, you kill the good bacteria too. Another key to optimizing the production of NO? Stomach acid. We need our stomach acid. Millions of people are on meds to reduce the stomach acid. That's going to affect the production of nitric oxide. Tanner?
What? My doc told me to take the pills.
Try a natural whole food diet instead, huh?
Right.
Another great way to optimize your hormones. Put your body in stressful situations.
I thought you said stress was bad for the hormones. This all sounds pretty stressful.
It's a good kind of stress. Short term. The kind of stress that pushes you to accomplish great things. The bad stress is sometimes short term, but quite often chronic. And that's going to wear on you. That's not good. Chronic is like long-term stress.
How do we better manage the chronic stress?
Different strokes for different folks. A lot of men benefit from retreating to the man cave. There's scientific studies that show there's a biochemical reaction that goes on that boosts testosterone in men when they're given that time to retreat to their man cave.
What about the ladies?
Women alleviate stress by talking to other women.
My wife does that.
Yeah. Again, every case is individual. Some men might like to talk it out with other men or other women, and some women may like retreating to their woman cave. There's so many healthy habits you can incorporate into your daily ritual to optimize your hormones. We've talked about diet, exercise, and I'm always an advocate of mindset. That's essential.
What do you mean?
How you look at the world. And your self-talk. Make sure it's positive, not negative. Meditation, yoga, pick up a martial art. Tai Chi, I do Wing Chun. I've been a beginner for a while. I gotta get to that next level. But it's great because that's a challenge for me. Oh, Here's a game changer for me. Boosting your T levels. Nothing like it. It's become a daily habit for me when the weather permits. Naked meditation in the sunshine. Expose your genitals. Great for testosterone. Give yourself a self-massage. It only has to be 5-10 minutes, but do that daily. You'll see a difference. Trust me.
That sounds pretty good.
I think this is a good place to stop.
Good talk.
Yeah, I think so. Now lay off those pills, Tanner.
Make a comment and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
See you next time.
Take care.